Hey guys, welcome back to another video of mine, and welcome to Sketchpad, which is something that I use to make all of my thumbnails, and this is something I also use to do a lot of fun stuff. And today, this is going to be a brand new series where I'm going to teach you guys the basics of Sketchpad. And I had a lot of things that I should start off with, but the thing that we're going to start off today is we're going to start off by using all of the things that you can find in here, including the size and this. This is going to be coming up soon, and this is going to be hard to do, so prepare yourself. The pen is pretty basic. The faster you go, the thinner it gets. The slower you go, the thicker it gets. As you can see, it gets really thin. So you're going to want to eventually keep it slow if you want it big. Do it fast if you want to keep it slow. Or I could just lower down the size and make it really big if you want to, and make it really small when it gets there. Well, but eventually you have a huge mess. So now we're going to use the eraser, which is really basic. And you're also going to notice that's going to erase the background, but that's completely fine. You can increase the size of it, you can increase the blur so there's no blur. So you can do all that after you have a blank page. Okay, give me a second. After you've gotten a blank page or something like that, then you can start using the pencil, which is the exact same no matter what. Same line, very basic. Controls very good, very well. And since we've gotten all that pretty much, now let's move on to the call graph. It's kind of like a zigzagged line. As you can see, it looks like a cross, and that's how it writes. If you do it just like this, it looks like a line. If you do it like this, it looks like really thick. You want to make it something like it's really nice, you just do something like this. This is what it looks like. It looks like really basic. Having it do a line up here just looks like a straight line. But after you've made a huge mess, then it's the power of the eraser. Now we're gonna go back to the crayon, which is kind of like somewhat. It's gonna come back near. It's pretty messy, but eventually it's gonna look really clear once you actually properly color it in, just like childhood. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the streamer. The streamer, the faster you go, the thicker it gets. The slower you go, the thinner it gets. And it gets pretty thick. And then big mess, big eraser. Now we're gonna move on to the paintbrush, which is kind of like the bigger version of the streamer, but it has fade to it, and it looks really cool. Let's get some good fade into the center. And it looks kind of like a really dark version. And then this you can pretty much just color everything in. Just in case. And then what we're gonna use is we're gonna use the arrow, which is pretty obvious. You just point it to the thing you want it to point to. And you can really just make a whole bunch of arrows literally everywhere. Like this. Like the triangle of arrows. You do this, then you do this, then you do this, and then you do it again. It's kind of like that. And now with the power of the magic eraser. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Now we're going to move on to the line, which is literally just like this. And then you could use the drag tool. And then you can uncover that the eraser thing, you can literally just grab pretty much everything. And everything is still there, including the white background. So really, everything is actually still there. So you can just do that and it's gone. Now we're going to use the path, which is something that I've used before. You just do that, you do this, and then you can bridge it. You can choose where you want it to go, like a big, like, I don't know. You can go like that, and like a mountain or something, I don't know. Like this, and like this, like really trippy. Whatever you want for the path. And then just grab it all, delete. Which all you do is just use the select it all, and then push backspace. Now we're going to move on to the spray paint, which is hard for me to use. But it's all about motion, really. You do like a giant one, it's going to look huge. It's also about this. It's also about speed. If you go like really fast, it's not going to do anything. But if you do it like really slow, it looks pretty good. If you just hold it, it completely takes over everything. So use this one caution because it does kind of like splatter. You kind of get what I mean? Like there's like the edges. And then after all of that, you take your select and just remove it all. Now we're going to move on to the stamp, which is kind of like this, and you could kind of like change how it looks. You can change like the rotation to like that. You can change the scale, the offset, and make it look like really cool art. Bam, beautiful. I just realized, why did I refresh the page? Well, anyway, after that you can just grab the fur, which is hard for me to do. It's kind of looks like hay. I got just kind of like do this or something. You get the really creepy eyes, like this. And then you can use like another returning one and use like the pen or something. And that looks really creepy, and then you'll have nightmares. Gone. Now let's move back onto here. Now we're gonna go move on to the sketchy, which is kind of like really like rough sketching. It kind of looks like pencil, where you could just like do a ton of stuff, and eventually it turns out into something really cool. So just kind of do this for a while, and eventually fill it in, and it looks really cool. One straight line just looks like this. When they get close to each other, it kind of like web connects. So it looks really cool. Just like that. And you can also do a spiral, which looks cool. That's what a spiral looks like. And then, just like everything else, select it all, delete it. If you ever made a mistake when you're doing it. The web, which is one that I have had some trouble with trying to get to properly work, where everything is just trying to stick together when it gets close enough. Look, if I just like start like throwing it everywhere, it's gonna start turning into a giant web. Doing slow movements is just connecting all of it. And it looks really cool. So let's make a circle. And it's all just gonna try and connect to each other. Bam. And then just like literally everything else. Select it all, delete it. If you like before, if you made a mistake. This one I've looks really cool. I think like some sort of like block snake thing. If that's what you're interested to. You can make it like super big. Like this. And it looks like really cool. And you can use like the line width. Now this is what it looks like. Kinda looks like a slinky. Now that's trippy. And then really delete it all. because it looks cool. Now, last one that we're going to go with was actually the eraser. The eraser is something we've gone through from a ton of these things. And then, for example, if you want to make something that looks really, really cool and you really like it, just make something like kind of like Slinky. It just kind of connects to each other. Something you could also notice is that this thing rotates as you're dragging it. Okay, this like corner is pointing up, through all the way to the side, back, and I can see its difference now as it's rotating. So it's really, really different. So, but if you guys liked this really like basic tutorial of all of these things that you can, all like the brushes, holographic streamers, arrows, paths, everything like that, the kinds of things that you can write with and make beautiful art, this is going to be our brand new series. And if we can hit 100 subscribers within this, well, within the rest of September and October, then that's how I know that you guys are absolutely loving it. And I'm obviously going to have to do the subscriber special. But if you guys like the video, don't forget to tell me in the comments. I'll try to respond to as many of you as I can. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.